How is everybody doing? Hope you're all well. In this video, we're going to take a look at Peter Gabriel and his output from 1977 until 1992. This time frame is, for me, where all the magic is. He's not the easiest artist to, how will I put it, to appreciate. The music is not for everybody. As we all know, he was the frontman for the British prog rock band Genesis, and eventually he quit in 1975 after The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and then he embarked upon a solo career. And I've been listening to these albums for maybe 35 years now. I like Genesis as well. But these are the miniature, what are they called? The limited edition mini vinyl compact discs. I had a few and then I decided to upgrade and get the whole lot. I always found the original version CDs, they didn't really sound that great. Yeah, they had a lot to be desired. So the artwork was kind of poor as well. Even though with these, you still don't get, they're still not true to the original artwork 100%. So anyway, let's go through them and start at the very start. So here we have Peter Gabriel 1, and some people call it Car simply because he's sitting in a car on the cover. And these are nicely done as well, by the way. One is here, and then they show you some master tapes. The disc is in here. The disc matches the sleeve and stuff like that. I think at the same time they came out on Super Audio and stuff like that, back in 2002. Booklets. Again, there's you get the lyrics, but there isn't much really on the actual, there's no sleeve notes as such. All the production notes are there. This one was produced by Bob Ezrin. But I like this album. I really do. I like it. I think it's a great album. I love Moribund, the Burgermeister. That's the opening track. That's probably the most Genesis sounding. Salisbury Hill, that was a huge hit. It's probably his most famous song. Modern Love, I like that as well. Kind of a rocker. Excuse me. Now this is where things get a little bit a little bit funny. The band perform as a barbershop quartet, and then this kind of interesting, I think Tony Levin, the bass player, he plays a tuba on this. Humdrum, that's one of my favorite Gabriel tracks of all time. I love that song, really good. I love the kind of I think it's a tango actually. Slow Burn, that's another good one. And then Waiting for the Big One, kind of a bluesy one. Down the Dolce Vita, that's another good one as well. And then of course Here Comes the Flood, fantastic song to wind up the album. Pity that there was no sleeve notes with these, and there's also pity that they didn't decide to do deluxe editions with maybe some outtakes or give us some bonus tracks. Yeah, but anyway, that's another matter. Yeah, but this album is quite good. The band are good as well. That were playing with him at the time. Of course, there's some session musicians as well. Alan Schwartzberg, drums. Tony Levin, again, virtuoso bass player, fantastic. Jimmy Malin, percussion. Steve Hunter, full frontal guitar, electric and acoustic. Rhythm guitar, pedal steel. Robert Fripp appears. Banjo, Joseph Charowski. Larry Fast on synthesizers. And of course, the London Symphony Orchestra are on down the Dolce Vita. But yeah, it's a good album. I really like it. I think it said it was recorded on a sound stage in Toronto or something like that. Autumn 76, Toronto in England. It was released in February, the 27th of February 1977, one day after my 8th birthday, believe it or not. So yeah, I really like this album. It's entertaining. It sounds like he's having fun. You know, he was free from Genesis, free from the machine, as he said on Salisbury Hill. So next up is Peter Gabriel 2. And of course, it isn't really 2 because he didn't put any letters or numbers on the albums. Some people call this scratch. Yeah. But obviously it was done with a photograph, and then you had some paper torn down, and then they probably put a little bit of Tipex to join it up, you know. Now this one, some good stuff on it, but it's not as, we'll say, it's not as adventurous as the first one. Again, you get the master tapes, and you got the imprint of 2 on the sleeve. Yeah. But what I noticed on this one, it's the inner sleeve of the vinyl LP is missing. It's just not here, you know. There's a kind of squares and stuff and other pictures from the actual photo sessions where, you know, he's photographed on the street somewhere. Yeah, but this one was produced by Robert Fripp, and it has a kind of a dry sound to it. There's some good songs on it, like, you know what I mean? Again, of course, we have more or less the same core band, but Sidney McGuinness is on guitar mainly. Jerry Marotta drums. Roy Bittan of E Street Band is on some tracks. But this was recorded in Hilverenbeek in Holland and the Hit Factory, New York. He kind of had problems with what's his name, Robert Fripp, at the time, you know, artistic differences, and yeah, Fripp was, yeah, so it was kind of, yeah, kind of troubled that way. But On the Air is a good track. DIY is another good one, and then of course there's A Beautiful and Gentle Mother of Violence. That's a really nice track. And then A Wonderful Day in a One-Way World. Yeah, kind of a reggae type thing. And then White Shadow, that's a nice track. It's interesting. I like it. It's kind of moody. And then Indigo, that's okay. Animal Magic, that's another kind of rocker, I guess. It's up-tempo. Exposure, that's only okay. Flotsam and Jetsam, Perspective, it kind of fades a little bit. But we got Home Sweet Home, which is kind of a country ballad about a marriage and a failed marriage and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of started listening to it a lot more recently, and it's a little bit weak, I guess, yeah, compared to the first one. But anyway, next up is Peter Gabriel 3, and I guess here I'm tampering with my watch, see if the camera's still running. Yeah, this one is quite groundbreaking. It is a very, very different sound from the ones that preceded it. It's quite modern sounding. I suppose, yeah, maybe it kind of influenced a lot of bands going into the 80s. You know, I can, you know, hear traces of Japan maybe there. Of course, you know, some of it's a little bit like what Bowie was doing maybe as well. But this album is superb. As far as I know, the production was handled by Steve Lillywhite, I think. Recorded in the summer and autumn of '79, both in London, England, and in Bath as well, where he set up Real World Studios. Released in 1980. Yeah, very strong album. It's famous for the Phil Collins compressed gated drum sound, Intruder. John Giblin plays on bass on this one as well. Again, Morris Pert on synthesizer or percussion. Sorry, my head is gone. You Patcham whistles. Kate Bush sings backing vocals on 2 tracks. I think it's the Chez Saint Frontier on Games Without Frontiers. And also No Self Control. Starters does a little instrumental. I Don't Remember is a good one. Family Snapshot, that's a good one. And Through the Wire. Games Without Frontiers, that's a great track. Not One of Us, that's another great track. Lead a Normal Life. And then Biko was a tribute to the Stephen Biko, who was murdered in South Africa. Yeah, it's a good album. You know, it's kind of, how will I put it? It's confrontational as well. You know, it's not easy listening by any means. Yeah, it really is groundbreaking. Like I said, it's a lot of people say it's his best, but it is a strong album and definitely worth having. Next up is Peter Gabriel 4. Now, this one is, again, has no name, but like like the previous one, people call them different names. Like the face on the Peter Gabriel 3 is Melt, which I forgot to mention. But this one, Security, that's actually him. It was done by special types of lenses that I think that you use on a lighthouse or something like that. This one is quite modern sounding, a lot of Fairlight on it. He recorded this out in the countryside, I think, near Bath, and 1981, summer 82. There's a documentary about the recording of this, and I think it was the South Bank Show or something like that. And it's released in September 1982. I like it. You know, it's kind of, like I said, it's got a lot of Fairlight and stuff like that, and it's like, but it's kind of moody and a bit menacing as well. This is produced by David Lord. But Jerry Marotta drums, and then we've got the Ganonian drums. Yeah, David Rhodes is back here. Tony Levin is back here with the fretless bass. Morris Pert, David Lord, Polly Moog. Yeah, I love the opening track, The Rhythm of the Heat. That was used in an episode of Miami Vice titled Evan. There's a shootout at the end, and it's perfect for the scene. I love the way, you know, jump, 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 jump. Fantastic, really is. San Jacinto, that's another good one as well. I Have the Touch, that's good. The Family in a Fishing Net. Yeah, it's a song, I think something like Sacrifice, big slow moving. Shock the Monkey, that was another hit. Lay Your Hands on Me, that's another good one as well. Anthemic, it's kind of pointing the way to soul really at this stage. Wallflower, that's probably one of my favorite things on the album as well, after The Rhythm of the Heat. And then Kiss of Life. The quality on this is really good. I think all these remasters are very good. This was actually mastered to I think 2-track digital Sony tape at the time or something like that, and it sounds fantastic. Next is Peter Gabriel Plays Live. This is the highlights. This does actually appear on double LP and double CD, but the remaster series, they never decided, they never carried it through. There's 3 tracks omitted from this, and this was also released in the 80s as well, on compact disc as a single, but it was a double as well in 1987, I think. Very good actually, and the remastered version is fantastic. It sounds great. It gives you a nice snapshot. All the tracks were recorded, I think, in the Midwest of the United States, and of course there was some overdubs done as well near where he lives in England. Again, the core band here are fantastic, and you know, you've got David Rhodes, Tony Levin is back again. synthesizers by Peter Gabriel and stuff like that. But it is a good album. But it says here, live recording engineered by Neil Kernan, fix and mix at Shabby Road Studios, Bath, spring 1983. I think he had a kind of a farm or some sheds converted, and you know, that's when it says Shabby Road. It was like a barn. It was supposed to be freezing inside there. But then he did build Real World, I think, which has become a premium studio. So yeah, worth having. It's really nice to have. There's a few tracks here that aren't on any albums as well. What is it? I Go Swimming. Yeah, so there you go. But like I said, there's 3 tracks on the full release. Next up is Birdie. Now this is a soundtrack. It was released in 1985. It's from the movie of the same name. And it says here in the back, warning, this CD contains recycled material and no lyrics. What he did was he actually took some of the basic tracks for songs, mainly off Peter Gabriel 4, which is Security, and he made them into moody pieces, and of course he added some extra tracks as well that are not in the movie. I actually like this. I got it a few weeks ago. I'd never heard it, and I actually like it. Recorded between October and December 84 at Ashcombe Studios in Bath, England. And it was released in 1985 March. It's a movie with Matt Modine and Nicolas Cage, and I think it's about a guy that came back from Vietnam traumatized, and then he becomes obsessed with flying. Yeah, it's actually quite good. Again, there's some session guys on it and stuff like that, like, but you know, the usual people he used for the last few albums. And yeah, it's interesting. I like it. You know, it's cinematic, I suppose. At night, floating dogs, quiet and alone. They're quite moody and stuff like that. Close up, that's uses the basic track from Family Snapshot. Slow Water, Dressing the Wound, Birdie's Flight. That's from Not One of Us, from Peter Gabriel 3, which is also known as Melt. Slow Marimbas, The Heat, from Rhythm of the Heat. That's a nice remix as well. Sketchpad with Trumpet and Voice, Under Lock and Key. That's from Wallflower. And then we have Powerhouse at the Foot of the Mountain, and that's from San Jacinto. San Jacinto. So there you go. Birdie, get it. You like it. Next up is his big blockbuster from 1986, and that is So. This was a big album. It was actually very big at the time. He had kind of reached his artistic peak then. Everybody knew about the Peter Gabriel. There's some master tapes. Funny enough, you can see here, this is 1986 or 85 when he's recording. He's still got Ampex tape, which means it's an analog format. I think he was recording in analog, and they were putting it in from digital and stuff like that. Very, very complicated way of recording. Yeah. But So was huge because number one, the big hit from this was Sledgehammer. So the album recorded between February and December 85 at Ashcombe near Bath, and it was released in May 1986. But Sledgehammer was gigantic. Red Rain was another good track as well, another big one. And then we've got Don't Give Up. That's a duet with Kate Bush. Really, really nice song. I think it's about like unemployment and stuff like that. I suppose it's a stab at Thatcher's Britain, really. About, you know, industry dying and people that were once valid now became useless. Strange fact, he wanted Dolly Parton to actually sing the female part on this, and she declined. And thinking back, no, it makes sense. Like, she had that kind of high, kind of slightly forlorn female vocal, which I think would work. Yeah, so Kate Bush stepped in. That voice again, yeah, that's another track as well. It sounded a little bit disturbing. And then Mercy Street for Anne Sexton. I think that was the writer of a book he was reading. Big Time, that's kind of loud and harsh. It's, you know, kind of somebody with a big ego like that. It kind of harks back to the yuppie era, I guess. And then we got We Do What We're Told, Milgram's 37, that's a bit strange. And then this is the picture, Excellent Birds, and I think that's with Laura Anderson. A bit strange. And then In Your Eyes, it's on the end of this album because he rejigged the track listing, because I think In Your Eyes wouldn't work out on vinyl near the groove, I think, where it was. I think, I can't remember, for bass reasons, I can't remember. But lots of famous people on this. Yeah, lots of famous people. Stuart Copeland plays hi-hats on it. You've got El Shanker violin, Jim Kerr backing vocals on number 5. Oh, I didn't realize that. Mercy Street. Bill Laswell bass, of course, Jerry Marotta, Tony Levin, David Rose, Chris Hughes. Yeah, it's, you know, is it my favorite album? Because it's probably one of his best. For some reason, I find it, like, I've heard it so many times. I guess it's kind of almost like his Brothers in Arms, I guess, or his Invisible Touch that Genesis had. I like it, but I always seem to gravitate away to the other ones, you know. I don't know why. I'm just probably too familiar with it. But yeah, I don't know what it is. For me, it's not my favorite, you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you which one is. Next up is Passion, and this is music from The Last Temptation of Christ. Martin Scorsese made that controversial movie around 87, 88. Gabriel was doing a soundtrack for it. He had 10 weeks, and then, of course, the movie studio said 3 weeks. So he had to rush the project. But eventually he reworked some of the stuff. I only got this today, and I must say I really enjoyed it. The music is moody, atmospheric. There's lots of Middle Eastern influences on it and stuff like that. And lots of... you know, it's kind of groundbreaking at the time. It introduced a lot of players from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia to people. So it's quite groundbreaking. You know, a lot of people mimicked this into the electronic age. There's lots of drum programming and stuff like that, and it's fantastic. So it's released properly in its own right in June 1989. It was a double LP and a single CD, recorded between February 88 and March 89. Yeah, it's good. It really is. It's very moody. Like, it's probably not for everybody, but if you like Peter Gabriel, you'll enjoy it. There's some very moving pieces on it. Of course, Peter plays synthesizer. You've got Manny Elias on a couple of tracks. David Bottrell, David Rhodes. Shankar, double violin, and then there's lots of other musicians there. Dave Sanchez, who plays backing vocals on some of them, and keyboards, and also Yasador. He was introduced to people after this. So there's lots here. It's certainly worth investigation. You know, like I said, you could stick it on some night, like if you're just, you know, chilling out. It is a pretty nice, and definitely worth getting your paws on. Next up is the final album in this era for me, simply because when I bought this in '92 on the regular compact disc, I did buy Secret World Live, I think the year or two after. I think it was '94 that came out. There's also a Greatest Hits in 1990, which I don't have in this series, but I have it on another one. I don't see the point of buying it. I bought nothing else. Like, I didn't buy anything else from Peter Gabriel in the 90s. I didn't buy Ovo. I think he didn't do anything for a while. But this one in the last month has become, I think it's become my favorite Peter Gabriel album. It's better than So. Definitely better than So. You know, I think it's very strong. It's very emotional. So kind of is a little bit disjointed. I don't know. I just love this album. I remember getting it when it came out, and now it sounds even stronger today. what is it, 33 years on. Recorded between October 1989 and June 82 in box. Was originally released on the 28th of September 92. It's a great album. Come Talk to Me. Lots of African drums here. You know, obviously he was working with all these musicians, and of course it spilled over. I like all the paintings as well that were commissioned by different artists. Sinead O'Connor sings backing vocals on Come Talk to Me. Very, very, very nice. Love to Be Loved, that's a great track as well. I really like that one. Great chorus as well. Then The Blood of Eden, that's another one. It's like a little bit, it's a duet, I guess, with O'Connor, but she doesn't sing the way Kate Bush sang on the other one. She's slightly more in the background. Fantastic, yeah. Steam, well, I suppose you could call that Sledgehammer too. Steam Hammer. It's a bit cheesy, you know, the lyrics, like, you know, your straight line from a curve, you got a lot of nerve. Yeah, it's a bit, but it's kind of, yeah. You know, the throttle from the brake, you know, the straight line from the curve. It's a bit cheesy, I guess. Yeah, it is a little bit like, but it sounds great. Only Us. Now that's a bit, you know, again, that sounds like the Passion music, yeah. Bit mellow, yeah. And then Washing of the Water. This is probably one of the best things he's ever done. It's soulful. He sounds very vulnerable on it. It's a fantastic track. I like the kind of rhythm on it. Yeah, beautiful. Like, it sounds like something from the southern states of America, you know. Digging in the Dirt, that's another good one as well. I like that. And then 14 Black Paintings. That's a bit moody. Yeah, it's a little bit long and moody. Kiss That Frog. Yeah, I was never really mad about that. It's okay, you know, I think, because this is a long enough album. And then Secret World, that's the last track. That's a great track. It's a brilliant song. I love it. I love the lyrics. Again, it's produced by Dan Lanois and Peter Gabriel. So was also, I think, done with Lanois. But recording and mix engineer Dave Bothwell, and of course there was Brian Eno was involved in this in some way. Manu Katché drums, the Babacar Faya drummers, Daudu, India Rose, Dave Bothwell, David Rose, Daniel Lanois, of course the inimitable Tony Levin is on this. There's a lot of people on this one. Too many to mention, really. It is a great album. And, you know, I found myself listening to it nearly every day last week. And, yeah, it's just, yeah, like, I have nothing after this. I don't know what his music is like. I have Hate, that album, the compilation. There's some of this stuff. I probably will go now and buy, I will buy the later albums, I guess, you know, from whatever, from here on. That's for another time. So anyway, yeah, that's it. So that's Peter Gabriel. And these are beautiful. Really are. I like them. The miniature vinyl compact discs. Yeah, way nicer than the old jewel cases, I find. They're superb. They're smashing. So anyway, that's my take on it. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe, and take care.